Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen or K.Hong Hobbies. As you can tell, we are in kind of a different location. Tonight we are in my office that I do most of my journaling in if it's not out in the kitchen like you normally see. And it's because I'm going to be Zoom journaling with my friend Kimberly. I'm so excited. So what you see here is the result of a nice Zoom journaling sesh that I like to do. Basically, I just get on Zoom with a friend or friends. We are journaling, catching up, or getting ahead on anything. And what we normally do is we watch some sort of YouTube video. It typically is Paper People Podcast by Amy. That's what it was tonight. And it was a blast. I had a good time. So let's do it. Oh, I don't think I mentioned, I'm going to be working on my September monthlies. So like the special highlight of the day, I am super behind on, as in I've only penciled everything in and haven't colored any of it. And so thanks to y'all, I have the 3 colors that I chose. Let me actually get them. So these are the 3 Tombos. Is it gonna focus? Maybe not, but you get the gist. Aha, yes, these are the 3 Tombos that I selected. I knew that I wanted to do a maroon, or as I like to say, garnet, and then the other 2 were up in the air. So I asked Instagram and they came up with lavender, which is this is the closest lavender I could find. And then they also said, I think some sort of like jewel tone, like turquoise teal. So that's what I went with. Yeah, I love this and I have a feeling I'm gonna love how this comes out. So let's do it.
Because we're watching a video, I figured I would just mute it and then do some voiceovers. And I think this is when I'm also gonna try some like music. So just sit back, relax, and by that I mean get your journal out and journal with me if you'd like. And I'll give some like insight onto what I'm doing along the way, and then the rest of the time we can kind of just vibe together. So like I mentioned before, and as you can see here, I pencil everything in everywhere, but especially here. And then what I do is, unfortunately, I go back in and erase everything. But it's helpful because 1, I sometimes don't remember what I do. So I put it in here and then I don't have to go back to my notes app or anything like that. So that's really nice. But then 2, I can play around with like all of the different types of fonts I want to do or different things I want to try out in pencil first. If I don't like it, then I can kind of do whatever I want. But yeah, so I'm going in here, erasing some of it, and sorry for y'all that need me to go in order. I don't ever. I'm all over the place, and honestly, I was thinking about this while I was doing it. The ones that I choose randomly, I think are the easier ones. So I start with what I think is the most obtainable, and then I get like more complicated ones along the way. So yeah, the one here obviously is just me writing in a Tombow, so that's really easy. So other ones I have to like highlight and then wait for it to dry and all that stuff. And yeah, so that's part of this. one thing that anyone who is a football fan and journals, which is so niche, but I feel like there's many of us, might understand is that there's only so many ways I feel like I can write Go Birds or go whatever team it is. And I didn't even realize that, you'll see later, there's 2 separate times on here that I said Go Birds, just because we watch a lot of football and sometimes that's all that's going on. So I have to put it in here. So that's something that I'm always looking for ways to show more, I guess, sportsmanship, you could say. And so, yeah, just thought I'd share. Let y'all in a little insider. This day that I'm doing right now, the 13th, I had penciled in before the date had actually happened. So I was expecting to hang out with some of our friends, but then they got sick and it didn't actually happen. And something completely different happened this day. And I did hang out with people, but it did not include this family. So I was debating if I was going to actually change it, if I was going to cover it up, what I was going to do. I just decided to leave it because you know what, in the grand scheme of things, on the actual day it shows what I did, and I might not look at this much. I'm telling myself at least. So yeah, this is a fake day. September 13th was a fake day. One thing I learned from, I think it was Emily from Planned and Planted, I have been playing around with all of my different fonts and stuff, but I couldn't figure out like how hers always looked so neat. And I realized that it's just that she has, well, one, really neat handwriting, but then two, she focuses on just changing the colors. So that's what I've been trying to do a little bit more this month and last month. So on the 8th, you see I just put like B-Day in a different color. On the 6th, I put college football in a different color, but it's still like what my handwriting would be if it was just in black or if there was highlights in it or something. So that's been really nice to play around with. Step usually for my monthlies. I look to Pinterest. I have a whole board just called fonts, and what I did was I just took a bunch of different fonts I found and just put them together. And so I'm going in here, obviously I penciled in first, and then now I'm just going in with every other color. I really like how this turns out. One thing that I am interested in with this is that I never know if I want to outline it or not, and so at the end I really was debating it, but I end up leaving it completely open like it is now, and I really like how that turned out. I've done it a couple of months, but man, I just always love a black outline. So yeah, it's fun to play around with and challenge myself. And another thing I noticed as I was watching this again, the first time I recorded it, I guess, the E's are all the same color, fun fact. Yeah, so enjoy this. This is September in my monthlies.
am obsessed with how this came out. So thanks for anyone who suggested these colors. Very happy with it. So with that, after a great Zoom journaling session, I hope you have a great day, night, whatever it is. It's night for me. I'm about to go take a shower and go to sleep, so very excited for that. But make sure to like this video and comment down below what you've been working on lately. If you'd like to Zoom journal, let me know, because I definitely want to do more of that. And also live journal on YouTube more, so hopefully I'm going to do that more frequently as well. And wherever you are, have fun.